Matt Walsh and Nick Carter are partners at Castle Island Ventures. All views expressed by them or the guests on this podcast are solely their opinions and do not reflect the opinions of Castle Island Ventures. Guests and hosts may maintain positions in the assets discussed in this podcast. You should not treat any opinion expressed by anyone on this podcast as a specific inducement to make a particular investment or follow a particular strategy, but only as an expression of their personal opinion. This podcast is for informational purposes only.
Brought down by bad mortgage investments, Lehman, which has 25,000 employees, will be liquidated.
The federal government loans American International Group, AIG, $85 billion.
This is a different kind of market, and the Fed is asleep.
The federal government is stepping in to stabilize Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, the two mortgage giants that have been threatened by the housing crisis.
The Bank of England has pumped £75 billion more into Britain's ailing economy with a new round of quantitative easing.
You print a couple $1 trillion, and all of a sudden, people start to worry. So out of this worry, we have something called the Bitcoin.
Welcome to On the Brink. I'm Matt Walsh.
And I'm Nick Carter.
How's your week?
It's good. There's a kind of a scandal developing in Miami. Have I told you about the Signature Bridge project here?
Oh, is that the big bridge on your way to the airport?
Yeah.
Leaving South Beach?
Leaving the beach, going to the airport. There's like 5 or 6 huge arches. So it's like a multi-billion-dollar project. It was meant to be done years ago. Now it's been extended to 2029. Huge boondoggle. Colossal boondoggle. And the bridges are cracking. The concrete isn't good. So it's like this, everyone hates it, right?
Yeah.
And then, so we're all wondering why there's traffic in the heart of downtown forever because of these bridges. And at the same time, they built an entire stadium for the World Cup in under a year.
Did they really?
Yep. Right near the airport, actually. And that's the new Inter Miami Stadium. It was a golf course, and now it's a stadium. 1 year passed.
Wow. Privately funded?
Yeah, with some help from the state. So here's the puzzle, Matt. If they can build a whole stadium in 1 year, why is it taking them 10 years to build the bridge?
Yeah, I don't get that.
Now we're starting to ask some serious questions.
It's like the bridges from down the Cape. You know, some of those bridges were built in like the 1940s in 2 years, and they would take 10 years to build today.
Right, and the Golden Gate Bridge was built very quickly. I think the Empire State Building was built in under a year. But so the contrast is what's causing us to really wonder, why is this bridge taking so long? I think there's corruption.
Yeah.
That's top of mind for me.
All right. That's good. Well, you've been busy. You just put out another post about quantum. I haven't even read it yet. So it's called How to Resolve the Matter of Satoshi Coins Without a Freeze. What did you get into there?
Yeah. So, I know. What people really wanted from me was another blog on quantum. Well, there's a big debate now. And I don't know why. Why are we debating the Satoshi coins now, specifically?
Well, we got to argue all the time. I think that's the thing.
Well, we like to fight, sure. But, yeah, for some reason, now everybody's fighting over what are we going to do about the Satoshi coins. Everyone's kind of... I think most people have made their peace with the fact that, yes, we're going to have to do the quantum upgrade. There's a conference happening right now, I think, actually at MIT or Harvard about it. So it seems like a consensus has emerged. But the thing we don't have a consensus on is what are we going to do with these 1.7 million coins that we think are abandoned and are quantum vulnerable that cannot upgrade? It's very tricky. There's actually no good outcome because either you let some random entity claim 1.7 million Bitcoins and we don't know who that is. Could be disastrous, could be the end of Bitcoin, or you change the core principle of Bitcoin, which is the monetary policy. That's also kind of unacceptable. So it's a very tough situation, and I propose a third way.
Uh-oh. All right. What is it?
I can't make this happen, so it's completely wishful thinking, but this is my proposal. That I need other people to do this for me. I can't do it. The government... The government saves us. I mean, it's not a very Bitcoin.
Thing. Yeah. That's just like what we always thought of when, early days of Bitcoin.
So only the U.S. government can save Bitcoin. They have to appoint a court-appointed salver, someone who does the salvage, and kind of like salvaging a shipwreck. And so this firm would get exclusive rights to salvage the Bitcoins, or a consortium of firms. They would get a finder's fee, but not ownership. The coins themselves would go into a trust that is claimable by Satoshi or others if they prove belatedly that they mined the coins, which would be hard to do.
You couldn't prove it.
Well, forensic You could maybe prove it. I don't know.
Well, having the signature ability put in a post-quantum world doesn't prove it.
It doesn't anymore, so we have to fall back on conventional methods. But maybe you could. Maybe if you had enough of a paper trail, you have the laptop that you mined it on, whatever. It could be the case. You could prove it. But if no one proves, then the coins get this word that I don't know how to pronounce. It's cheated.
They get sheeted back to the state.
The state. So then we're in a pickle, and we're at the limits of my thought experiment, because there's no state like Maryland, not nation state. There's no state the Bitcoins were mined in necessarily. We don't know.
Yeah, they could have been mined in Belgium.
Yeah, for sure. So that's where I run out of room on this analogy, but I think maybe the government could take them or something.
All right. I mean, not to be pejorative, but I think that's a little half-baked, because what if some Chinese lab gets the coins?
Well, yeah. I mean, this whole thing is contingent on a U.S. firm getting it first.
Yeah, but China's plowing money into their quantum industry. What makes you think that the U.S. will get there first?
Well, I don't know. I'm a patriot. I believe in this country.
Well, I hope the U.S. gets there first too, but I don't think we should assume it. I thought you were going to go down a different rabbit hole, the tail emission rabbit hole, where you don't change.
Yeah, that one's also good.
Freeze the coins. They're out of circulation, but just put them back into they can be mined over the next 100 years.
Yeah, I proposed this in 2019 at a talk at MIT, and people went ballistic.
Yeah.
Did
Peter Todd talk about tail emission at some point?
Yeah, I think he did. I don't think a lot of people put the whole thing together where we could use the old coins and recycle them, but this was back in the bad old days when I wasn't sort of used to being canceled, and I didn't like it at the time.
Oh yeah, that was your first cancellation.
That was the first one, and so I left that idea on the drawing board.
Oh, you should have just reincorporated it, just recycled it. There's a lot of Bitcoiners that just came on board past couple of years. That would have been the first time they would have heard of it.
Yeah, so now that I'm Teflon and I can't be canceled anymore, maybe we can bring it back.
Yeah, I think just freeze those coins, put them back in. I'm surprised at how controversial this is. I guess we'll get into, maybe just skip to one of these news stories. So BIP361, did Jameson Lopp write this one?
Yeah, he's involved.
So it's a plan on how to handle quantum vulnerable addresses, basically Satoshi's coins. It says basically that they would get frozen if they don't migrate to quantum safe addresses. And they get frozen for 5 years? Am I understanding that right?
Yeah, it's kind of staged, I guess. So BIP361 gets activated for 3 years. You can spend from legacy scripts, that's what we have now, or a new post-quantum script that gets created. Then that phase is sunset. So after 3 years, or after 2 years, then the nodes reject legacy scripts. And so that effectively freezes vulnerable coins or old coins. So maybe that's why people are fighting about this, because BIP361 just became an official BIP.
Yeah. I saw Jameson tweeted he proposed it, but he doesn't like it, but he doesn't like the alternative even more. So I get it. I think we got to start talking about this.
I mean, as I've said before, I don't think it's going to be like the Blocksize war, where it's kind of like the idealists on one side and the corporates on the other side to really reduce it.
Yeah.
The corporates sort of wanted to expand the block size, and then the idealists kind of won. Here, it's not going to be like that because the corporates are so much more important today.
Yeah, it's just a much bigger market.
No major Wall Street institution was involved with Bitcoin in 2015 to 2017 at all, except for the CME. So now they need to get involved. They have clients. They have legal exposure. What are they going to do?
You'll definitely have a fork situation here where there will be a market that emerges.
Have we looked at what happens in an ETF if there's a fork?
Yeah, they all have language around choosing the chain, basically.
They pick one.
They'll pick one.
Yeah, I mean, they can't just have two. Like, that's crazy.
No,
right?
And there won't be, my guess is there will not be like a airdrop or dividend payment, but there'll be a rush of capital to entities that will do the chain split for you in a similar way to Bitcoin Cash. If you had your funds on Kraken, you immediately got the dividend.
Right. So the ETFs, they probably won't they won't sell off the other coins and give it to clients. That'll be their own balance sheet, the sold off losing fork.
Yeah, it's a good question. If they sell it, they would give it to the customers, I'd imagine. But there's probably a world where they just don't claim it.
Yeah, because I think if I'm a big asset manager, I'm just rejecting a fork out of hand that doesn't freeze the coins. Because
I think so.
It's too risky. So I think they'll actually just act like it doesn't exist.
That's what I think.
And then the exchanges will be more ecumenical, and they'll be like, yeah, you can have whichever one you want.
They just want the trading volume, right?
Yeah. So they actually kind of benefit from...
I wish I could go back in time and capture all of the conversations that I had around the Bitcoin Cash fork and all of the people that I respect that were telling me that was going to be the winner, and just how wrong that was.
Yeah. I mean, but see, here's the problem. It's this, everybody is now going to look at that case study and think that it'll go the same way.
Right.
But I don't think it will.
I don't think it will either. But you will have a lot of purists that say, look, this is theft. We can't do it.
Yeah, but here's my challenge to that. The purists, if you were a purist, you should be disillusioned by now, because Bitcoin does have these big corporate influences, and MicroStrategy is getting on their way to 1 million coins, and the government has a Bitcoin reserve, and these people kind of cheered for that. So I think Bitcoin has selected for people that are actually not purists anymore.
I guess it's selected for mostly capitalists at this point.
Yeah, I think so. And so I think even the hardcore ideologues, they're going to be sitting at the kitchen table and their wife's going to be like, so our retirement's in Bitcoin, right? It's like, yeah. Okay, so which side of this are you on? You're on the side where our retirement goes to zero?
Yeah.
Instantly? No. They're not, no matter how committed they are, they're still investors in Bitcoin. So they're not going to pick the fork where Bitcoin goes to zero and maintains its intact principles.
I agree. And that's why I think we should burn the coins.
I like my solution where we don't even have to burn them. The government waves a magic wand and solves it for us.
I don't know. Government intervention. I mean, I'd be in favor of burning, or I'd be in favor of tail emission. But tail emission is, that's the third rail.
I mean, it actually should be that. If I could actually pick one, we fix the long-term revenue problem.
At least fix it for 100 years.
Yeah, and that's someone else's problem.
Right. All right, let's hop into the deals of the week. First one up is Paxos Lab. So this is an enterprise that started as a spin-off of Paxos. They're focused on DeFi infrastructure. They raised $12 million from Blockchain Capital, Robot Ventures, Maelstrom, and Uniswap Labs.
Next up, we have Spectre. That's with a K. They're an AI-powered financial compliance company. They raised $20 million from NEA, Northzone, and others.
Nava Labs, not to be confused with Nava Ventures, one of the funds that we like to collaborate with. Nava Labs is a policy platform for agentic payments. They raised $8 million from Polychain, Archetype, HackVC, and FalconX.
Kraken is a crypto exchange. We all know them. They raised $200 million in secondary from Deutsche Bank, resulting in a 1.5% stake in the company. The co-CEO Arjun Sethi confirmed that they have confidentially filed for an IPO. For the second time, right?
Paradox, right? To publicly confirm that you have a confidential filing. It's
we've said this before.
It keeps on happening. Next one up is Pumpcade, a meme coin trading platform. They raised $5 million from Jump and Foundation Capital. Meme coin trading platforms are still a thing, huh?
I'm shocked to see that in 2026. Lastly, eToro has entered into an agreement to acquire Zengo, a self-custodial wallet provider. Been fans of those guys for a long time. So it's nice to see them sell the business.
It's a good product, right? It was social recovery. It's a very good product.
They're one of the first ones to do social recovery well.
Yeah. I think that's an interesting play, especially given what the SEC did this week. And I doubt that was part of the thesis. But the SEC came out with new guidance this week specifying that DeFi front ends such as Uniswap that expose users to tokenized securities, they don't necessarily need to register as broker dealers as long as they don't monetize the order flow or offer investment advice or take custody of user funds. So this would apply to wallet front ends like a Zengo, as well as Uniswap. I think that's quite interesting, and that is not the view that the Gensler SEC had.
Yeah, this is the most, actually, I think it's the most sensible SEC policy I've ever seen.
Yes.
And we achieved it without clarity. So
we did.
Good things are possible without legislation.
We're getting kind of common sense things that we thought we had to have a bill for, just via SEC guidance. Now, of course, this guidance could be rolled back. That would be kind of a debacle, but probably hard to do if you have a lot of tokenized securities on chain, and this is the way people engage with them. The fact that you can't monetize the order flow might be a little bit problematic for some of these wallets that make money based on routing.
Yeah, that's right. But really encouraging stuff. I mean, congrats to the SEC. It's super cool.
Yeah, big fan of that. In other news, Goldman has filed for their first Bitcoin ETF. It's called Bitcoin Premium Income ETF. It's going to invest in other Bitcoin-related ETPs and option-related strategies. So I guess this would endeavor to kind of beat the price of Bitcoin. Is that right?
Pretty cool. So just in the last 2 weeks, really, we've had Morgan Stanley and now Goldman enter the Bitcoin ETF arena. World Liberty Financial is experiencing some kind of indecipherable quagmire. Have you seen this?
Yeah. Is it okay if I just choose not to keep up with this story?
Yeah, that's allowed. Yeah, I've been following it. So
there's a governance proposal, vesting schedules, Justin Sun's involved. There's just a confluence of things that I don't really care that much about.
So what I think happened was Justin Sun, well, they put his wallets in like some kind of special vesting category that was distinct from the others. I don't know why. I think there was some allegation that he was like selling early. So they basically froze his coins. Now they're reimposing a new vesting. I think it's a 2-year cliff and another 2 years linear. And they're kind of forcibly opting every buyer of World Liberty Fi into this. So it's actually not unusual. We see this often in DeFi, kind of like forcible vesting changes. But I mean, it's a little confiscatory. You probably aren't allowed to just arbitrarily change the vesting.
Yeah, that seems like a centralized move, right?
Yeah. And just you're not allowed to do that in regular markets. You have to you have a deal with someone, you sort of have to adhere to the deal. So they've put Justin Sun's coins in purgatory until he opts into this new vest.
Yeah, he's not happy about that.
And he's unhappy.
Yeah.
But I mean, he kind of deserves it for buying the token. So
yeah. All right. Well, I guess we will continue to put blurbs about this in our newsletter, but I will continue to not really spend any time trying to figure out what's going on there. Did you see we had the death of a DAT this week? Ether Machine, which was a proposed DAT focused on Ethereum. They had announced in July 2025 that they were going to launch with $400,000 worth, 400,000 units of ETH in their treasury. They have scrapped their plans to go public via SPAC, citing unfavorable market conditions.
Yeah, I think we'll see a lot more of these. What do you make of the Blockstream one? SIPO, Canner, and Blockstream are doing that one.
What is that? Like a Bitcoin income related thing? It's a
Bitcoin DAT, right? Or is there another twist?
I thought that they were going to be selling options or something, generating yield on the Bitcoin or something.
Oh,
I don't know. Why do we need another Bitcoin DAT?
Yeah, I mean, it's because I wonder if it won't be a little bit buoyed because of the Adam Backus Satoshi allegations.
Yeah, I mean, it's good marketing, right? Buy our debt. We're denying that this is Satoshi, but John Carreyrou is pretty certain it is.
Yeah, and we're kind of like winking while we deny it and crossing our fingers at the same time. There is a new Satoshi candidate on the block, or a documentary, rather.
This is the one, the Coinbase backed that...
yeah, FindingSatoshi.com. I've seen it. I'm not affiliated with them, but they sent me a screener, so I've seen it.
Are you going to blow the lid on it, or are you going to wait till the premiere for us to talk about
I'll let them tell you who they think it is. But it's actually the best one I've seen.
Really? So you think it's credible?
There's no smoking gun, per se. I don't think we'll ever get one. We'll just get more and more circumstantial evidence.
I think I like these attempts to look into the linguistics. I'll give a shout out to Matthew Lemerle, who's been a frequent guest of our podcast, but he's throwing the language into AI models and coming out with a solution.
Yeah, what's the trick? It's to look at Satoshi's emails to Marty Malmi.
I think that's right. Is it Marty or Matty?
Matty, yeah, Finnish guy.
Yeah. Matthew actually wrote a book about it called The Ministry of Bitcoin. It's a novel, but worth checking out.
So it's like the golden age of Satoshi theories because there is a Hollywood movie coming out.
Are you talking about the Craig Wright one?
Yeah, I mean, this is the most baffling thing I've ever seen because there's serious A-listers in this movie, but it appears to be in support of Craig Wright's ambitions.
That was nice of you to call Casey Affleck, Pride of Boston, an A-lister. Normally, I wouldn't have thought about him like that.
Casey starred in a very good film called Manchester by the Sea.
And Gone Baby Gone. And Good Will Hunting.
Oh, I didn't know who's in Good Will Hunting too.
He was Ben Affleck's little brother in Good Will Hunting.
Oh, yeah, I didn't watch it very carefully.
Yeah, Chuck, I ordered a double burger.
So he is at least a B-lister. We'll give him that. And then Gal Gadot is in this. Isla Fisher. Pete Davidson is in this movie.
Yeah, he's not an A-lister. I mean, this is a B-list movie.
Pete Davidson is an A-lister now.
Is he
Don't
really?
You think?
I don't know. It's Saturday Night Live. What's he ever done?
Gal Gadot is an A-lister.
I don't even know who that is.
She was Superwoman.
That doesn't make you the A-list.
Yeah, she's big. So Pete Davidson plays Calvin Ayre. That's a casting atrocity. They don't look anything alike. And Casey Affleck plays Craig Wright also. I don't like that they're making these kind of dumpy looking scam artists look good. Doesn't seem right to me.
What is the premise of this movie? They cannot possibly be saying that Craig Wright is Satoshi, right? This just has to be about a scammer who kind of ran a scam, right?
Yeah, I mean, so this is the synopsis. Bitcoin, it's just called Bitcoin, is the true story of one man's quest to prove that he is in fact the creator of Bitcoin. A claim that puts his life in peril and sets off a global firestorm. And a wild, high-stakes race between the who's who of tech billionaires and world leaders, with the fate of the world's entire financial system hanging in the balance, all leading to one question. Why do the world's most powerful people want to erase one man, and why would they spend hundreds of millions of dollars to do it?
That's unbelievable.
So this is in the tank for Craig Wright.
I mean, I will watch this because Casey Affleck's in it, but I'm not going to enjoy it.
Craig Wright is the one man on Earth who has been officially designated as not Satoshi by a court of law.
He's actually the only, he's the only person
guy
on planet Earth who's definitely not Satoshi.
So they're barking up the wrong tree here, but I actually like some of these actors. So yeah. I might watch. I'm not going to pay to watch it.
When does this come out?
It's coming out at Cannes Film Festival. Do you think it's going to get a standing ovation at Cannes?
That's a dangerous place to go. Being Bitcoin related in the country of France, that's tough.
Yeah, that's right. So it's coming out in Cannes. My guess is not going to do well with the critics.
Yeah, probably not. Probably not. All right. Well, we got that coming out. There's the Netflix FTX thing is coming out soon. There's a bunch of crypto stuff coming out that probably won't make our industry look great.
Yeah, and also some really troubling casting decisions with the Netflix show.
Oh, yeah?
I mean, they're just... I don't remember the exact who's who, but the actors they picked to play the, FTX, Effective Altruist Polycule members, they're too good looking.
Yeah, they're all way too good looking. Yeah. That wasn't how it went down.
This isn't right at all.
We don't hear much about the kind of the FTX crew that only had 1 year in jail. I wonder what everyone's up to.
Because they're out. Some of them
they're out. I wonder what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, they've presumably been banned from securities markets, right?
Yes, for at least 10 years, I think.
They're probably vibe coding, don't you think?
Yeah, probably vibe coding, probably playing on some prediction markets via VPNs, that type of stuff.
Do you know who the most successful FTX alum is?
Yes, situational awareness.
Yeah, Leo.
Leo Aschenbrenner.
Leo.
That guy, he might be from a different planet.
I mean, I figured out why he's so good at trading stocks.
because he just has the latest models before we do?
Almost. It's not that he's a time-traveling Habsburgian vampire from the 1600s, though I did think it was that. His fiancée is the chief of staff at Anthropic.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So do you think she just has she has mythos?
She is the best models, first of all, so that's very unfair. Second of all, he knows who Anthropic is buying compute from.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So why is his trades are incredible. He took this fund from 500 million to over 5 billion in a year and a half.
Yes. This is one of the most impressive funds that no one has really ever heard of in the mainstream.
Well, and people panned him. You remember when it came out? It's like this kid's 23-year-old, doesn't know anything about finance, going to raise a fund. He's going to just go max long AI. Yeah. Everyone made fun of him.
Yeah.
And then he just proceeded to outtrade every other hedge fund on the planet.
Yeah, completely.
Seamlessly. I mean, even during the big drawdown in these AI stocks. And he's had still, every quarter, it's a new incredible trade. Every quarter, there's something new.
Yeah, what did he just hit big on? Bloom Energy or something like that?
Yeah, it's his literal biggest position this quarter, disclosed in the 13F. I took notice. I'm like, wow, okay, what does he know? And then it just skyrockets a couple weeks ago.
Unbelievable. Yeah, you're right. He's probably the most successful FTX alum. He was on the charitable side of FTX, right? They had a charity.
Yeah. The other good trade he had was CoreWeave was his second biggest position, I think, plus call options. They just signed a huge deal with Anthropic.
Oh, wow.
A week ago. So I'm not making allegations. I actually like the kid a lot, but I think that's the secret sauce.
Well, yeah, that's an interesting data point, but good for him for just coming out of the gates hot. I mean, just unbelievable. All right, what else happened this week? Charles Schwab has announced that they will be rolling out direct exposure to Bitcoin and Ethereum, so spot exposure in the coming weeks. I guess you could think about this as just kind of copying what Fidelity did. Obviously, Robinhood's done this. Coinbase is the lion's share of retail flows, I think, still in the U.S., but good for Schwab. It has taken them forever to do anything. They've been talking about this for like 5 years.
Yeah, good for them, though. So they're actually going to do base layer Bitcoin. Like, you'll be able to withdraw it.
Yeah, they had put out an RFP to kind of handle the back-end trading and custody like 5 years ago. I don't know who they ultimately went with. It's probably disclosed in their filings. But, this is kind of table stakes, I think, if you're a retail brokerage.
So Tether, this is interesting. Tether announced a strategic investment of up to $150 million into Drift protocols. This is the DeFi protocol that was hacked, we think, by North Korea last week. So quite interesting to see them double down, support it, provide some fresh cash. I wonder if they'll release a recovery rights token or a token that entitles users to future revenue, cash flows. Because Tether or Bitfinex, relatedly, is actually, they've done this successfully. 3 times.
Of course. Yeah, you had the Leo token, then you had the other one. What was that called?
You had RRP, I think, recovery rights, which was at Bitfinex, anything in excess that was recovered. And then you had the original BFX token, which was...
Yeah.
So they've actually done this playbook 3 times, each time successfully.
Yeah, they know how to do it. I thought this was pretty opportunistic, and it's obviously that Circle has said that they will not freeze USDC until they get a court order. And Tether has been way more willing to freeze Tether in the event of hacks and things like that. So, it's part of this might just be a good PR for Tether.
Yeah, actually, we should talk about that because you're right. Circle has this no freeze unless a judge says freeze policy. I understand why they do that. They don't want people constantly knocking on their door saying freeze the coins. At the same time, this has now caused USDC to be the chosen currency of choice for hackers.
Yeah.
So that's not a good situation to be in. Also, they could have intercepted these funds.
And I get why they don't do it, but look, if North Korea does a big hack and everyone knows it's North Korea, you got to freeze those coins, even if you don't have a court order. You got to freeze.
Yeah, you don't even have to know who the hacker is to know that obviously it was hacked. I don't like it. Here's what I think we need. We need a chancery court of blockchains.
Oh, interesting.
So why is Delaware the go-to state, or at least used to be, for business disputes? Because they've specialized courts that are fast for corporate disputes, right?
Yep.
What about a court that is digital, that's on-chain?
I don't hate it. It's kind of like UMA protocol is for Polymarket.
Claris Court or Aragon.
Yeah.
So this would be something that Circle would voluntarily submit to. This court agrees to monitor the blockchain 24/7. It's not a real court. It doesn't have jurisdiction anywhere. And it makes pretty snap decisions. Yeah, you should probably freeze these ones.
Yeah,
right?
I like the idea. I think that could work. I'm sure the legal departments at the stablecoin issuers would not like it, but honestly, it's just good policy to freeze these addresses if North Korea gets them.
Yeah, I don't like the current policy at all. I get it, but I don't like it.
Senator Elizabeth Warren sent a letter to Elon Musk this week, raising concerns about the upcoming launch of X Money, which is rumored to have some crypto rails embedded in it. So Warren has accused Musk of weakening consumer protections through his capacities at Doge, blah, 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 blah. She doesn't like it when new financial services players come up.
Yeah, I mean, she just seems opposed to the notion of finance in general.
Well, opposed to it unless it's the banks doing it, where she sits on the Senate Banking Committee and can rough them up.
Yeah, so this is a prime target, of course. There was an interesting paper published this week from Avihu Levy of Starkware called Quantum Safe Bitcoin Transactions Without Soft Forks. Does this solve quantum for Bitcoin? No, to be very clear. It is cool, and I appreciate the effort, but this is a very complex protocol that puts a large burden on the user to kind of encumber their coins quantumly. What we need is a protocol-wide solution. So in case you're wondering about this paper.
Yeah, this would be, you'd have to have a bunch of compute locally to do this, right?
Yeah, and it's uneconomical for smaller addresses. So, but it was a cool sort of case study or thought experiment.
Bitwise has launched a new ETF. It's a spot avalanche AVAX ETF. It has staking included, so check that out. Bitwise just continuing to innovate. And then I really like this Hyperliquid piece by Colossus this week. Do you get Colossus yet?
No, I don't know Colossus.
Colossus is Patrick O'Shaughnessy's magazine and podcast network, and they put out a really nice, I think it comes out every quarter. It's like a bound book almost. It's really quite good. But this piece was written by Dom Cook, and it's a full profile of Jeffrey Yan, the founder of Hyperliquid. What an incredible story this guy had.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like he was grinding like no other. At one point in the piece, they say he worked 14 hours a day when he was building it, clocking 100 hours a week. His fiancée was living with him in Puerto Rico, but for the first year, she was only allotted 30 minutes of his attention per day. Yeah, the remainder belonged to the trading algorithms.
It's a man in the arena. Yeah, it's free to look at online, so I would definitely check it out. It's a good weekend read. Probably built one of the most consequential pieces of infrastructure in all of crypto.
Yeah, I mean, now it's going beyond crypto. People are trading oil on there, gold. Yeah. I mean, it's becoming a market of consequence in commodities, too.
Never raised any venture for it either. Never raised a dime of venture capital.
But most crypto funds own the token now.
Yeah, everyone just kind of bought it on the open market. But it does have that benefit of being kind of pure from the outset.
Yeah, I mean, the airdrop created a great number of millionaires.
Yeah, 100%.
Maybe more than any other airdrop.
Yeah, I think that's right. All right, so, we just cut a solid 2 to 3 minutes of content that I think this is why we don't do this live. So
some things are better left unsaid for the sake of the industry.
There's a lot of scandals out there that we'll just kind of sit those out for now.
We see the truth, but we close 2 eyes.
There's stuff happening that's outside the purview of maybe what we want on the record. But
yeah, this is a serious podcast, and we talk about deals and news, and we don't do gossip. So
yeah, we don't do that. All right, everyone, that is it for the week. Everybody have a safe and healthy weekend, and we will see you on Monday.